we're
All right, so welcome to PTV Live on Monday, our first Monday broadcast. You'll notice that Arnie and Doug have changed a little bit. Actually, Arnie and Doug are tending to a family emergency and will not be able to join us tonight. But thank you for joining us this evening. Captain Akron, welcome. Jonathan Chong, thanks so much for stopping by. Mike Wheeler's in the house as well. Tonight, my guests with me, pinch hitting for Arnie and Doug, we have Derek and Gregory, D&G Explorers. So thank you so much for joining me, guys.
Hey, welcome, thank you. And that means I must be Arnie, since and that would be.
We're still Derek and Greg. We're still Little Explorer, Big Explorer.
We started laughing. Greg was laughing when we joined because we didn't realize we were wearing the same shirts, which we.
Well, which one of you is more chatty? Because that would mean that that would make you Doug.
We're
probably would
both
be
kind of chatty, actually.
That would be
okay.
We just like to have all attention on you, I guess, or something. I don't know. We're both about it.
All right, so we've got several people who have been joining us already. My gosh, we got Dylan, we've got Stacy, Russ, Danny, Two Real Geeks, Pam, Cargo, Dancers with Goofy, Rachel, Susag. We've got Jim at More Sunshine Please. We've got AJC Magic TV, and we've got. That's about it for now. So, hey, welcome all. We are here to do kind of a wrap up of what happened this past weekend in Southern California. Oh, Stacy wants to know. Hold on. Here's this. Here we go.
Did you mention? I think there was some that we might have forgotten, or maybe, or I don't know. Some of the names I don't think I heard, but I don't know.
Oh, no. Well, we've also got Gallantly Streaming who just joined us. And Pepper Tree Villa is in the house as well. I guess Arnie and Doug are watching. Hello, Danny. Thank you for coming. My gosh, everyone just keeps popping in here.
It's awesome. Welcome, everyone.
So Stacy's asking the two of you, which one of you would wear the white gloves? That's the true question.
You know what? We don't have white gloves.
He already wears gloves, so that wouldn't be me. Oh, Lord.
Okay. Steve just stepped in, said, I can't hear but or stay, but wanted to say hi. Thanks for stopping by, Steve.
Those are his moisturized gloves that he uses when he has cracks on his hands. So he's the glove person, not me.
I'm such a fragile soul that it starts with my hands.
I'll wear my Stitch and Tigger gloves.
Those look a lot like gloves that nurses wear to wipe down tables.
Yes, I'm very much into sanitation.
Wow. Yeah, you got a whole box full of them too.
Juan Rodriguez is in the house too. So
hey, Mr. Juan Rodriguez.
Hey everybody, welcome.
Cargo said hello. She said hi to us. So
yep. Hello, Cargo. All right. So last weekend was D23 in Southern California. I did not attend it, but I was in Anaheim where I was able to get my new annual pass, which I have not had an annual pass to Disneyland in a long time. But with the introduction of a Flex Pass, Derek and Greg, you guys are the ones that sold me on that. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. It's actually a really good pass. So I think, to be honest, I think we figured 3 visits.
We basically, it's already paid for itself.
Yeah, it's already paid for it. So if you do I treat it as a park hopper, which is $199, 3 visits pay for the pass. So we're very happy that we were able to do that.
And this month actually is going to end that special $99 deal where you can bring up to 3 people with your pass for $99. Oh. I think they should extend it into the holidays, but that's just me. That would be a good present for people.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got the question here. Ben, the real question is from Mike Wheeler. Ben, the real question is, which one looks like you? Then that would be your brother. Well, I think Derek looks closer to me than Gregory does.
Yeah, there you go.
So, actually, you look like you could be a cousin, but we won't go there. So how long ago did you guys get your flex passes at Disneyland?
We got them.
He got it on his birthday, which was
I got mine
27th.
July 27th.
And then I bought mine probably about 2 to 3 weeks before that, because the original plans when I bought the pass was to get it, the rest of them, for we were going with 2 other friends. We were going to use the $99 offer for that to get it cheaper.
Okay.
But then our friends decided they were going to buy the flex pass. So I think they ended up buying it the same day I did. And then we went down to Disneyland.
So I had to follow suit and get mine too.
We applied I put $100 down for Greg, and then he paid for the difference on it, since to treat it as like a birthday present for him.
Okay, I don't need baseball upstaging me right now. I've got it. I forgot my TV was still on here. The A's are beating the Kansas City Royals currently 14-2. So
wow.
I think I can turn it off safely and know that we're probably going to get this one tonight. So when did you guys arrive in Southern California for Disneyland and D23 this past weekend?
Well, we left about, 6:30 in the morning, and we didn't get there until
on Thursday.
Yeah, on Thursday until close to a little after 11. We had to pick up Jim from More Sunshine Please and our friend Chris, and they weren't landing until I think after 11:30. So we got into Anaheim a little bit after 1, after everything was said and done.
Yeah, it took us about an hour to get through to that. And my day started, I had inventory because I work retail. I had inventory, and I didn't get off that night. I was supposed to get off at midnight. I didn't get off until 1 o'clock. So I live about 45 minutes away from home, so I don't think I had anything more than 2.5 hours sleep that night. So
I was the driver, so I had to make sure I had plenty of sleep.
It was pretty much for the whole weekend. It was pretty much up early, close the park down.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Mickey's Magic Meg has joined the stream too. So thanks for joining us, Meg. It's always nice to see you here.
Meg, it's always awesome to see you cry on your show. You are such a sweet person, and I always get emotional.
That's a better compliment.
No, but she was getting it was a happy tears. It wasn't tears of pain. It was happy tears that she had on tonight's show.
Oh, Cargo's asking what you live 45 minutes away from home. Did you speak?
Cargo, I have trouble speaking. I don't know how you...
Did you say you live about 45 minutes away from home?
You can tell I'm still on
I didn't even catch that one, Cargo. How does that work exactly? Do tell us.
I have no idea, but somehow I managed to make it work.
Well, fortunately, we'll be able to check the stream later on once we watch it and see how we did. Or maybe these people who are chatting about us will let us know exactly how we're doing, like they did with you at that time.
Work is, I guess, another home because he's there so much. So maybe that's what you meant. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we got them there early Thursday, and then we went to the park shortly after. I think we were in the parks by like 2:30.
We checked in the hotel and everything.
We stayed at the Candy Cane Inn, which is, I always say it's on Disney property. Greg says it's not, but it is within the boundaries of...
It's their own property.
It is, but it's in between where Harbor and Catella, the two main streets. It's inside of that where the Disney parks are.
Yeah.
Not on the outside of it.
Well, Disney has wanted that land for so long, so it's not their land yet, and that hotel or inn refuses to sell their land, which is very smart of them.
They shouldn't, because they've got a really good business going.
Yeah, it's family owned and everything, and they have one of the best continental breakfasts you could ever ask for.
What do they serve?
They actually added breakfast sandwiches, like ham and cheese sandwiches now. They
and a croissant.
Yeah, a croissant didn't used to have that. They have fruit, boiled eggs, cereal, donuts, coffee, muffins, yogurt. English, or not English muffins. Well, yeah, they might have English muffins. Bagels and a bunch of juices. So it's
Coffee.
a pretty big amount of food.
You can fill up before you go into the parks, which is always good.
I really don't like their coffee, though. I still have to have my Starbucks. And I know I told you about the Starbucks. I think I told you. I found my new Starbucks love. It's nitro cold brew.
Yeah.
And you can only get it in 2 sizes because there's so much caffeine. They can't let you have more than a grande. And I get it with the sweet cream, but then I also had them add vanilla, which makes it taste a lot better. But it wakes you up like in less than 10 minutes. I'm not even kidding you. So that's what I like.
Oh my gosh. Well, I know when we went to the Starbucks at Disneyland, there was the one limited release drink that they were doing called, was it the Neverland Sunrise or?
Yeah, 2 of them. One was called the Wonderland, right? And the other one was called Neverland.
Yeah, the one with the juice and the tea and all that was the Neverland. I'm not a coffee drinker myself, so anytime Starbucks comes up with a cool like juice or something like that, and it's for a limited time, I'll be the first to try it because everyone's always going to Starbucks for something, and they're always dragging me and saying, "Hey, what do you want?" I'm going, I don't drink coffee. So I'm always the odd man out. But
we have the pictures and things.
Greg, if you're drinking that nitro stuff, my hat's off to you because I couldn't handle it. It probably eat me from the inside out.
Every time we walk by the Starbucks on Main Street, nitro.
That spastic about it.
As Jim would say, I digress. And we can honestly say Jim is as much as a pleasure to meet him in person as he is on his channel. And we had an awesome time. We hope we didn't scare the poor guy.
Yeah, he's a very
good. Jim, you're here on the stream tonight, and again, I speak for Derek and Gregory and Arnie, Doug, and I. We all hope that we didn't scare the bejesus out of you because we did have a lot of fun with you while we walked around Disneyland and shared our home park with you. And Nitro plus Greg behind the wheel equals warp speed.
I think it was a good driver, Jim. A very safe driver.
But no, we had a blast with Jim. He came up to Arnie and I on Main Street when you guys came into the park on Friday morning, and I feel like I just walked and said hi to a friend that I'd known for years.
That's how it usually is. I mean, it was the same when we met you in Turlock.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's like no uncomfortability. It's just you. I mean, I think the one thing that is always a surprise is how tall someone is. You don't gauge that when you're talking to them on this, but when you meet them in person, you're either like, "Oh, I thought you were taller," or "Oh, I didn't realize you were so tall."
Yeah,
or short.
We saw people at D23, and I said, "Oh my God, I didn't know they were that tall," because they look. You never really think about that on the videos.
Megan.
Oh,
yeah. Meg says, "LOL, that's my reaction when I meet anyone. I'm so sorry. I hope I didn't terrify you." Okay, and then Mike Wheeler here is saying, what is your thought on Shep from the Shep family?
We met him briefly at D23. We were on a mission to find a limited release Walt Disney Mickey Mouse ears hat. And we actually met a guy this is at D23. He was in the Marceline. I said it wrong, so I know I'm probably saying it wrong. He worked at the museum over there, and he had these cool looking hat that I have never seen before. And he said he got it in D23 at the Disney store. And the guy who created it, because they are collectors one, he was actually signing them at the D23 event. So I dragged poor Greg around. We actually missed one.
We were on an exploration. We're exploring.
We ended up missing our second panel, which was exploring the parks or something like that. It was an Imagineer thing.
I heard two. I won't say who, but two of the people in our group were falling asleep during that panel. So
serious?
We couldn't have missed that much.
So we waited in. They had 3 stores there. They had the Dream store, the Disney store, and the Mickey's of Glendale store. And we waited in over an hour and a half to get into the Disney store, which we had no interest going in for these hats, which we could have just asked the people before we even went in, and we didn't have them. So we went on this
wild goose chase, basically.
And as we were walking around, and I don't even know.
There's like 4 or 5 different stores that we were told to go to.
Yeah, and so we went, and after that was done, and our success was a failure at that point, we went and we met Gobber.
I thought you were going to say God. Well, that'd be nice too.
Bob Gurr. The Disney Imagineer was there, and we were able to take a photo with him, and he signed a photo of a black and white photo of the monorail in front of the submarine was below it, and the Matterhorn was on top of it. So we were pretty excited about that. And since my mind is like, I'm still half asleep, I'm not sure if that's where I was going with the story or not, but it sounded good.
What?
No, I've had no dilly-dilly today.
We did find the hat, so
yeah,
we did get the hat.
Mission accomplished.
But I like Jim's content, if I may. I only joke that I'm a delicate flower. In actuality, I'm a Chernobog-like Hellraiser.
Yep.
I just say that is so true, Jim.
Who said that?
Jim. Especially, don't get Jim on your bad side when he's really tired at night, because things just fly right out of his mouth.
Oh, the question was about Shep.
Yeah.
So as we were at Bob Gurr, and I'm looking at saying, "Oh, who is this guy?" I turn around, and right next to me, I'm thinking, "Hey, that's Corey." And I go, "Okay, well, there's Shep." So they were like right next to us for like 10, 15 seconds. I didn't even know it was him. So we met them. We took a picture of them. I believe I posted that picture on Twitter.
They're very nice.
Yeah, they're nice. And we weren't able to meet them again, unfortunately. We were hoping to do it.
We never did try that hot chocolate they told us to try either. It was like right next door to Bob Gurr.
But we, unfortunately, that was the only time we had a chance to meet up with them. But we met so many people up through the parks and through D23. We met a lot of other YouTubers, which was really exciting to do it. So yeah, Shep is awesome, really friendly. Corey is awesome. So our brief encounter was very good.
Jim missed by 10 minutes, he said.
He what?
He missed them by 10 minutes.
Oh yeah. We were trying to I know Jim had wanted to meet Shep and didn't get a chance to do it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I got a chance to meet Shep on Saturday evening. Shep and Corey were doing the single riders line on Space Mountain. Okay. And we had originally said, okay, the parade is going right now. The fireworks will be going on. Let's pack up our stuff and go, because we're all exhausted, so we can get out of there before the crunch at the tram loading zone at right near downtown Disney. Arnie finds out that Shep is in Tomorrowland, and he's bound and determined to meet Shep in person. So he drags all of us into Tomorrowland just to go meet them. So we're sitting there waiting for Shep and Corey to come off of Space Mountain. And across the way on the white tile on the wall was a roach. And I was there with Juan, and Juan was saying, "Oh, don't kill Wally's friend. Don't kill him." I'm going, "Oh, great." So we met,
and they're not little over there.
No, they're not. I swear they were like, it was like this.
Yeah.
Just, oh my gosh, it was. Ugh. I'm not a bug person by any means. But so when you go to see some of these things where the exterminators have gone and sprayed everything, and the roaches have gone through the stream that they've and then they're on their back with their legs up in the air. Oh,
we saw some huge roaches when we were walking, I think, back to the hotel. I looked back, and it was probably about the size of a quarter. And it was like scampering away. I was just like, that's disgusting. I mean, some huge roaches.
I think they have them just as big in Florida. But Stacy Rogers, she told me where I left my place.
Oh yeah, she looked for me as she said in cargo also.
Yeah,
and Pepper Tree Villa as well.
Well, they finally came off the ride, and Corey, nice as could be, and Shep. For those of you wanting to know if Shep is like he is on camera, he absolutely is. And if we had been standing there long enough, he probably would have claimed to be the designer of Space Mountain. But no, he's just as nice a guy as you could hope to meet, and just very gracious, and was very, very patient, listening to Doug go on and on. But no, we all just hung out and had a great time. I had a wonderful time hanging out with Derek and Gregory at Disneyland on Friday. So much so that I was so comfortable. Yeah, I was giving Derek bruises by hitting him all the time.
And I'm such a sweet person.
Yeah, you are.
You deserve all the abuse at all.
Oh, wow.
I didn't say anything to instigate it.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. We had a great time.
But no, I had a great time. I got a couple of weeks ago when we were planning the trip, I called dibs on writing on It's a Small World with Jim. And I was just as quiet as could be while he was filming or videotaping his way through It's a Small World. Meanwhile, Doug is sitting on the other side of Jim, pointing at all the different characters that he could catch on his camera, because Jim was kind of like losing it, and there was so much stimulation in that ride that it was hard for him to focus. So Doug was helpful to show him where all the Disney characters were overlaid in the attraction. Now, I don't know. They don't do that in Florida yet, but from what I understand, they're going to for the 50th. Is that what you've heard?
I've heard something. I didn't know they were doing it for the 50th, but I did hear that they were looking at doing some of that overlays over there.
Okay.
Which is a big contrast to what they had said before.
Yeah.
There's a lot of changes that are going to be happening in time, hopefully for the 50th. It's going to be a huge celebration in all 4 parks. So
yeah,
maybe even water parks too. I don't know.
If it's anything like the 25th anniversary at Walt Disney World, they slap that logo all over the place on everything. So I would assume that they would just celebrate the 50th everywhere, not just the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
That was a Pepto-Bismol cake, wasn't it? The 25th?
Yeah. And that's the only time I've ever seen Cinderella's castle in person. And that was with the Pepto-Bismol overlay. Yes, that's the very one.
I hope they don't do that or anything similar to that ever again.
I don't think they will. Hey, we've got a couple other people that have joined us. Kay Atwood, Bobby World. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're discussing our weekend that we just finished at Disneyland and D23. And Bobby is correct. Disneyland did have an epic 50th celebration. I was there for the actual 50th anniversary. I've got a box of gold pins right here that I'm pointing to that includes a pin that said, I was there on July 17th, 2005. So I don't know how much that pin would go for, but I'm not selling it.
I'm looking to, we're planning on being there for the 50th in 2021 in Walt Disney World. On
October 1st?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, you are brave souls.
Because I hate to plan. That is going to be one of our last days there, so we're going to probably fly in like the Saturday before it. That is on a Friday, I believe, Friday or Saturday, and then we're going to leave like on the 2nd, I think. So,
okay.
So we're already planning on where we could stay and the dates that we're going.
Yeah, Arnie, Doug, and I are planning to be there between Thanksgiving and Christmas in 2021. That's the tentative plans right now. Don't know if those would shift or whatever, but that would be the first time that I've been in Disney World in 25 years. Wow. Because I've only been there for the 25th anniversary.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know. For being a Disney fan, as much as I am, I may have to change that and go sooner than that. But right now, tentative plans are for November to December of 2021.
Awesome. I mean,
yeah, that's a big trip to fly all the way to Florida for.
It is, but from what I understand, the flights that go there right now are about the same price as the flight that I just took from Oakland to Orange County in Southern California. So,
Oh,
you went to John Wayne Airport, or did you go to LAX?
I went into John Wayne.
Okay, that's probably why, because that's a not as.
It's a lot more expensive to fly into John Wayne, but because of the convenience factor of where I was going to be and where we were going to be staying and the limited amount of time that I had there, I wanted to maximize my time at the parks and not on the lovely Los Angeles freeways.
I saw you had a exit buddy with you on the way home.
Which one?
Wasn't it Mickey
Mickey
Mouse?
Mouse had a
Oh yeah, Mickey, right back here. I got
because as we were leaving rides, and
I showed you the picture.
Greg would always say, "Make sure you have your exit buddy. Don't lose them."
Yeah.
So that's where we started using the term exit buddy.
So
yeah.
The mansion, getting off the elevator, you don't want to lose your party because you can't really see when you're down there. So
Dances with Goofy is saying that they have a lot of southern bugs that are huge. No, thank you.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
And then Mike Wheeler says that I'm going to have to come to Walt Disney World sooner than later, and he'll be my blind tour guide.
There you go.
Mike, it would be an honor.
I think you might need to look at combining a 4-night Disney cruise on the Disney Dream with that.
We'll see. I've been told that I have to do a Disney cruise at some point.
Don't do a 3. Do at least a 4.
I think I would probably want to do a week.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what the heck? Better. Just do 7.
Yeah,
7.
Yeah,
we would agree on that. But at least don't do
but I did just start a new job, so I have to build up some time off first.
Awesome.
I wouldn't even say a 4. I would just say go big or go home. Do a 7-day cruise. If you do a 3-day, we did a 3-day, and it wasn't enough because the first day you're getting acclimated and used to everything, and then you're starting to have fun. And by the 3rd day, it's like, that's it. I want to stay longer.
Yeah.
So I would do just 7 days.
That's what I've heard about most cruises in general.
Yeah.
But we need to finish talking about Friday.
Yeah.
We keep getting distracted here.
Stop distracting him.
I know. All over the place.
So we met, and where did we go first?
Oh, good Lord.
I know, right?
Huh?
So we met on Main Street.
Yeah.
And then we went to.
We went to go get something to eat.
Yeah.
Jolly Holiday.
We ate, right. And then our first ride all
that's
together.
When Doug joined us.
Our first ride together was Indiana Jones.
That's right. Because you had told us that you had passes for a set time, and we were going to try and match that time. And we had an overlap of about 15 minutes. We were able to do that. And best line of the entire trip was Jim talking about the dart room on Indiana Jones and how he was thankful for the free glaucoma test that he got on the ride.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Indiana Jones Adventure puts you through all these perils throughout the ride in a Jeep Transport. And one of the rooms you drive through is a poison dart room. And darts are supposedly flying at you from both sides, but they're really puffs of air that are thrown at you. So that's where Jim's glaucoma reference comes from. So ta-da!
I never thought of that before.
Short joke, lengthened. There you go.
We went to Galaxy's Edge after that, right? Or did we go in the Haunted Mansion?
We actually split up at that time. Some of us went on Pirates and some of you went on Splash, and Jim was drenched.
Yeah. All you see is water coming right at him.
Yeah, I wasn't on there.
We tried to get Jim and Chris to be on the front of every attraction that really made a difference. Just because in most of those like roller coasters and that, you really should be in the front to experience it.
Oh, he experienced it, all right.
So I will tell you, in all the times that I've been on Splash Mountain, I have never seen anyone as wet as Jim was. He was
welcome to California.
It's like he jumped in the rivers of America. He was drenched, poor guy.
Well, one advantage that he had was that this happened in California, not Florida, because we had dry air in California. So he would at least try to attempt to dry out.
Yeah.
He was wet the entire day, basically.
Yeah, he was. Poor guy. I don't envy him at all. We should have all chipped in and bought him a brand new outfit on Main Street.
Well, we did offer to walk all the way back to the hotel, but then he said, "Oh, that's not on my top to-do list." And I was just like, "Oh, okay."
So Cargo says that Pirates has my heart. Cargo, in case you've never been to Pirates in California, you'll have to speak to people who have been on Pirates in Florida, then come to California for their opinion. But it's usually Pirates in California is much better than the Pirates than in Florida. But I don't like to compare the theme parks that way. I think each park has its own charm. And why there's always a constant war of this ride is better here than it is over here. I don't get it, because every ride is designed by the Imagineers. It's meant to entertain the audience in the park that it's at. If you just leave it at that, you'll have a great time.
I always find it interesting, though, just to compare to see, not to see which one is better. I mean, obviously you're going to have, I like the other one better. But I just think it's unique to see something a little bit different. One of the things I kept on saying is I don't like when rides from one resort area go across country to another one, because I think that makes it less impactful for someone to want to come to California. So, for example, Cars Land, if you only see it in California, people who are coming from
more special
back east to Disneyland, they're going to experience something that they can't experience in both Disney World and Disneyland. So I like the separation of them keeping things differently, especially when you have Disneyland, which has two parks. If they had the same attraction Disney World does, to me, I'm like, why even bother going?
Yeah.
Go to Disney World. You got other things over there.
You know, it's a shame that Disney World had Pirates crammed into their park as quickly as they did because of guest complaints. Because from what I understand, the ride that they had planned that would have been the Pirates alternative there, which was Western River Expedition, would have been much better.
Yeah.
But, we'll never know.
Yeah, it was the name of the thing is the same in now it slipped my mind in Disneyland Paris, where they have their haunted mansion or Phantom Manor. They have Big Thunder Mountain, and that I had it on the tip of my tongue, and I
Thunder Mesa.
There you go, Thunder Mesa was the area that they were supposed to name it. But so people came into Walt Disney World asking where the pirate ride was, that they quickly said, okay, we need to build the Pirates ride. So maybe, in a rush to get it out. I will say I like the outside queue of the Pirates of the Caribbean once you walk into it. I think that is really cool at Walt Disney World at Magic Kingdom. So I really like that. That is a little bit more detailed than what Disneyland offers. Yeah. But the actual get in the boat ride experience, I think hands down.
But then
Disneyland is, and from everyone that was from Orlando, they basically said the same thing.
Yeah, I don't look at it as a war. I look at it
East Coast, West Coast, throw down
as people's opinions. Because if you want to do one better, I think that Disneyland Paris has a better Pirates than Walt Disney World. They were themed better, if I'm remembering that correctly. So, and then also Thunder Mountain is better than Walt Disney World's and Disneyland in our opinion. But I mean, everybody's gonna have their favorites. But the original, we love our Pirates at Disneyland. That's what we're used to, and you can't get the same queue in Florida, so it's certain different experiences.
Well, Kate Atwood is saying the only thing I don't like about Pirates in Disneyland is the restaurant is in the middle of it. It seems so loud. I think it's the same in Paris. I haven't been to Paris. Is there a restaurant on the banks like they have with the Blue Bayou in California?
Yeah, now it's a character one with what's his name, the pirate?
Captain Jack Sparrow.
There you go. It's something based around that, but I like that because
the Blue Bayou on the
Blue
right
Bayou.
side. I personally haven't really noticed it being loud to me. I don't really notice it when we're going slowly down and it's all quiet. I mean, I might hear a little bit of stuff, but I never really thought of it before.
I'm more hoping that someone throws a biscuit my way.
Oh, woo! Well, you guys were having dinner there the other night while we were on Pirates, and we tried to get your attention, but it was you were a little too far into the restaurant to notice that we were floating by.
You saw me. Someone said they saw me stood up because we were texting back and forth, and I said Pepper Tree Villa might be coming by at any minute. And, like I could see out there. So here I am looking around. And you guys said, did you see me? Because we were in there. And it just happened to be the time that you literally were coming by us when I was looking your way.
Right.
That was hilarious.
But no, Pirates in California is a great ride. Let's see. Now that might be interesting to throw biscuits to people on the ride.
They'll start feeding the passengers breadcrumbs as they go along.
So, what did you guys have while you were there at the Blue Bayou?
We both had the same.
Yeah, we had the surf and turf, which is a split lobster tail and filet mignon, and then it had like creamy mashed potatoes and green beans and I think squash or zucchini, and they were like strips, but it was pretty good. And we also had the seafood hush puppies, so it was like kind of like stuffed dough seafood type things with shrimp in it.
Those were good. I felt
with some kind of a sauce.
Jim had like a vegetarian one, and then Chris had a bone in prime rib.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, very opposite from Jim.
Yeah, and the prime rib was really good. I think our surf and turf, it was on the smaller side, so the tail was smaller. The steak was probably about like this. It wasn't very big.
I'm not a big steak person to begin with, and I asked for mine to be like hardly any red. I don't like my meat to look like it's going to walk off the plate or anything.
You ended up getting one I was supposed to have, and you because
it was still good the way that they cooked it for you than if it was yours.
I mean it's $50 for the surf and turf. Yeah. So I just was hoping that it would have been a little bit bigger proportion. Yeah. I was hoping Chris wouldn't finish his steak so I could have some.
Oh my God. Jim said rosemary brioche before the meal, warm and yummy. It was the bread that they gave you bread. They kind of try to fill you up before you have your main dinner. So
Stacy Rogers says I like my steak still moving.
Like throwing us a biscuit or Monte Cristo.
Yeah, for as many burgers as I eat, I'm not a big steak eater. My sister, you put a steak in front of her and she'll be the happiest person in the world. But I've never been a steak person. So it's like, but everyone that knows me, that takes me to restaurants, they know that I'm not a foodie. Like for dinner tonight, I had a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios. It's just
nothing wrong with that. I do that for a snack sometimes.
It's just food, I don't necessarily have to make every meal an event.
Cereal is the best snack, in my opinion. I like cereal for a snack.
It was one of the, as we segue into something different, it was great meeting everyone that we met on Friday. So there's a chance for us to meet Juan Rodriguez, and we actually met him over a course of several days, like 3 days. Matthew and Lauren. Did you guys meet Matthew and Lauren?
Oh yeah. They hung out with us that whole Friday evening.
Yeah, so Matthew and Lauren Vlogs, they are Disney cast members, and we were able to hang out with them. They've been on our show live a couple times, so they're awesome. They're such sweet people. And then Bob and Ashley joined us. So
Bob and Ashley were awesome.
Yeah, they were great. And what else? Who else joined us? What else? Who else was there with us?
Well, in our group, I think that was it. So it was Edward Villa, Bob and Ashley, Jim, Chris,
7.
Matthew and Lauren at one point, and then Juan.
Yep.
And you always think, when you have a big group, our concern going in is, you have it. Oh, let's do this. No, let's do this.
We didn't have any issues. No, we just kind of went with the flow and did whatever.
Yeah, yeah. And time went by. I would say time went by way too fast. Way too fast. Yeah. I'd rather have a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Yep.
Then
Dances with Goofy had a bean burrito and a popsicle for dinner.
Yes.
We did all have a mint julep, and I like the mint juleps, but surprisingly mine seemed a little strong to me. The mintiness, I think, was a little much for me this time. And then we had those beignets that we ordered the 50th anniversary Haunted Mansion beignets.
Yeah.
But they gave us, I think, the regular beignets.
In the shape of the Mickey ears.
Yeah.
And Greg looked like he was snorting cocaine.
What?
Because remember the powder?
Oh my gosh.
So we had like the powder from the beignets.
Yeah, the bag
sugar.
was full of powdered sugar.
Everywhere. He had it on his face, and he was like,
it wasn't all on my face.
Like,
what? It was not even to that extreme. Ben was there. He could attest for me. It was not like that. Jim saw me too. He knows.
And then there was that great character experience with, I don't know his name, but it was the guy from Princess and the Frog, the one in that hat.
Oh, the Shadow Man.
Yeah,
I've never seen that movie.
My niece, when I texted her a picture of Shadow Man, and she says, "Oh, Tio, that's the Shadow Man. Run away from him."
And Jim was literally, he looked scared.
Oh, yeah, he did. But the guy who portrayed that face character, he was so in character.
Yeah, he was good.
He truly was good.
That was one of the best character interactions that I've seen.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I liked the person that portrayed Cruella de Vil also, because I was taking pictures for Ashley and Chris, and she was really in character. And then when Chip and Dale tried to photobomb her, she was saying no, and she like put up her fur coat and everything, and she was trying to get them away and stuff. And I'm sorry, my darlings. I'm sorry that I messed it up for you and all this stuff. It was just funny.
And it was cool because they were while they were taking a picture, there was one. I don't know who has that photo, but maybe Chris did. But they showed on the side of that going on around, because this is over there like where Moments of Mr. Lincoln is towards the front. Hiding around the corner was a cast member and either Chip or Dale, and they were like peering around like they're terrified of Cruella while it was going on, and see that kind of interaction. And that was one of the things that, because Chris is a Walt Disney World cast member, he was saying it's so amazing to see the character interaction here at Disneyland, because you don't see that. They don't roam around the parks in Walt Disney World. It's rare to see them out on their own. And you definitely don't see cross properties interacting with each other. And it's rare to see like Mickey and Minnie walking together.
Yeah.
It happens frequently at Disneyland.
Yeah, we saw Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, and I thought Goofy, but maybe not. They were all together.
Yeah, so that was fun. And it's cool to hear, when you're going through it, it's cool to hear how they see Disneyland for the first time and like, oh wow, look at that. Oh my gosh, it's so small. But then you hear it makes you think like
everybody thinks the castle's small.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that. So it's cool to hear their insight of how they feel about the different stuff. But everyone that said they saw the castle, they agreed it was small. But like Ashley, she said that she liked the castle because it seemed like something you could live in, where you would want to live in.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing, and that is a lot of. Jim was telling me that his first impression of Main Street was that it looked like it might have been wider than the Main Street in Florida, which I don't think is the fact, but I think the scale of the buildings has a lot to do with that, because they do have smaller scales, because even the ground level entrances of the buildings on Main Street aren't at 100% reality. They are just at about 90 to 95%, and it only goes smaller up for forced perspective, which makes you think the buildings are actually a lot taller than they really are. But then you put the castle at the end of Main Street, and you couldn't have anything higher than 76 feet. Otherwise, it would look out of proportion. So when they built that whole area, they built it from the mindset of Hollywood set designers, which is why it feels so real.
What was that?
It sounds like someone coming in and do room cleaning with a vacuum.
Did something happen over there? What's going on?
Yeah, we heard it. It sounded like a vacuum, and I heard like a beep, and then it went away, like something in the airwaves or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's not good. Jim did have a hard lesson that he learned. Don't inhale while eating powdered sugar on beignets. He said he learned that the hard way.
Poor guy. He had a fun experience there.
That was the first time I had the beignets. I mean, all the times I've been to Disneyland easily over 150 times, maybe closer to 200 times, and I've never had a beignet, and they were really good.
Yeah, I just wish it was the actual one that we ordered, but we didn't know until after. What was it supposed to have?
Like blackberry and something.
Okay.
In it. Yeah,
it was still good though.
Special 50th one, but oh well. We didn't realize it until we were almost done with them. We got the wrong ones.
Russ Stapleton said ghost.
Yeah. Now, I've had beignets in New Orleans. I went to New Orleans about 25 years ago, and there's nothing wrong with eating fried dough with powdered sugar on top of it. I would encourage that for everyone at least once in their lives. But beignets are delicious.
Yeah, they were definitely a treat. It was good.
Yeah, they were very moist.
Now, everyone has talked about this topic to death over this past summer, but I have got to talk about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. This was my first time going, and I went in the evening with you guys.
Jim's comment, we were laughing at that.
We've got a special guest here.
What?
Hey everyone.
Hey Arnie.
How you doing?
We're doing okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm under a bug light kind of thing, so it looks a little yellow at the moment.
I was gonna say you look like a highlighted Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, everyone, thank you so much for being here, and thank you also for your support. It's been a little rough down here, but we're getting through it. But we'll explain a little later what's going on.
Okay.
I just wanted to,
hashtag from Jim. He says, hashtag too much sunshine. Nice.
Yeah, so I could step away like this, and that kind of like lightens it up a bit.
That's a little better. Okay, so what were we discussing? Oh, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. We went in the Friday night with you guys, and we went into the cantina just before closing. But Arnie, Doug, and I returned on Saturday morning and rode the Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run attraction. And
oh my gosh,
it was a great attraction. We had a lot of fun. We had 3 little girls who were our pilots, so we kind of bid it in space. But for me, leaving Galaxy's Edge at the end of our time that we had there in the morning, I was on the phone with my good friend Sean, who is an avid Star Wars fan. And as I was walking out of the land and talking to Sean, I kind of got all choked up and I started to cry a little bit, because it was emotionally overwhelming that after almost a quarter of a century, we got a major addition to Disneyland, which had not happened ever since they decided to go into a resort status and build a second theme park across the street. So the fact that they were able to get this type of expansion into Disneyland, I think is a win for the resort. And I'm just so pleased that it is as amazing a place as it is. I'm not even a Star Wars fan, and I thought it was amazing. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I was very impressive. Now, after they've done Cars Land and how immersive that is, and how that's like a perfect land. And even though I haven't been to Toy Story Land in Hollywood Studios, I've still seen enough of that land to think that land doesn't touch Cars Land. I was hoping that Galaxy's Edge would be better than Cars Land in terms of how they were able to immerse you into it. And I like the spot of it in Disneyland. I think they put it in a perfect spot. Now that does add some interesting things of still some Star Wars attractions in Tomorrowland, and keeping those, you have them going on in two different areas.
Yeah.
But,
that won't be forever though. They will come up with something else for the Star Tours area.
I think so, yeah. And but just walking into it, now the one thing we didn't get a chance with Jim and Chris, we really didn't go into the shops that in Galaxy's Edge. So they didn't go into the droid shop, and they didn't do some of the other things, which they'll be able to do it at the one in Hollywood Studios. But just going through it, just the way the mountains are colored, you can almost feel like you're looking up and seeing mist on the higher mountains.
Yeah.
It's just a well done land, and it is. I didn't get teary eyed in it, but I did. I mean, it's a very impressive land, and I think it's from that aspect, it's even better than Cars Land. Even though I like the fact that Cars Land has more to do, ride to do, than Galaxy's Edge.
Well, for now, it's only just the one ride. They do have the second attraction opening early next year in Disneyland, and in
Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah, they will be opening in Florida in December. And according to research that Arnie has done, the only reason they were able to do it earlier in Florida than in California was because of a construction flaw that they found in California that they were able to address in Florida before they hit that part of construction.
Jim is heading out. Night, Jim.
Good night, Jim. Thanks for joining us.
Good night, Jim. Thanks.
On his live show tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern, he's going to be discussing his thoughts of the weekend.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I get off work at the time that he goes live, so I may have to bump him up on my phone as soon as I'm off. So, oh my gosh. So much good content coming out right now.
Arnie, what did you think of Galaxy's Edge?
I was completely blown away by how immersive it was. And one thing that I just really appreciated about Disneyland and how it was handled was the transition from either Frontierland or Critter Country, just depending on which entrance you went in, how smooth it felt. Like it was just an easy transition. It wasn't jarring. There was no abruptness of it. It's not like leaving, say, Fantasyland and then going out to the main street. There was nothing that jarring. It felt like a natural progression, moving from plants in Critter Country, and then just kind of like slowly transitioned right into Galaxy's Edge. That impressed me. Smuggler's Run, there was so much eye candy to look at in the queue, and the attraction itself was amazing. And seeing some of the characters around, like the First Order Stormtroopers, that really impressed me. I liked that because they really got into the character.
Yeah, that was awesome.
They got into the whole atmosphere.
Okay, we've had a couple other people join us. We've got Jack Sandy Claus Logan in, and we've got Kidult TV.
Hi,
Welcome, guys.
Hi, Kidult. How you doing? Good to have you. It was great, Kidult. It was great spending time with you on Saturday at Disneyland. We had so much fun.
Yeah, Jeff, Jeff. My gosh. So thinking about my nephew who just called me before this. Greg and Derek, we met Kidult, the couple who run Kidult TV on Saturday evening on Main Street. They're good friends of Juan's, and they're a blast. There's just a lot of fun. So thanks so much for joining us, guys. I really appreciated the time that you spent with us on Saturday evening. Arnie, do you have anything to say about the weekend that we might have missed?
Well, I didn't hear everything you said, but I gotta say, meeting people in person, like Corey, Shep, and then also everyone we hung out with, Bob and Ashley, and Chris from Walt Disney World, and Jim, DG. It felt so natural. It felt like we had already strong friendships built, and it's odd because it was so everything was virtual, but it just felt like a natural progression to just go up, give them a hug, and walk. It just felt natural. And saying goodbye wasn't as hard because I knew that we would be seeing everyone online, but we've got a better, stronger connection now that we've met in person. That was the one thing that really impressed me about the weekend.
Agree. That was awesome.
Megan here is saying, tell everyone the shameful truth of how you left your favorite niece at home while you gallivanted off to Disneyland without her.
Oh, she's still bitter about that.
Yeah. Well, she's actually a little bit bitter. I'm going to go off on a tangent here, and I'm going to reference one of my previous episodes of Life with Ben that I posted a couple of weeks ago. I did a food review of one of my favorite restaurants, Spin Pizza in Alameda here in the Bay Area. And I was disappointed to learn today that Spin actually closed and they're not going to reopen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Megan loves Spin as much as I do, and she had another plans for this weekend, this coming weekend, fall off. So she was kind of in a funky place. So whenever she gets into a funky place, she has to bake. And she made me some peanut butter cookies.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I may not have that wonderful Caesar salad dressing ever again, and I may not have their delicious gelato, but for now I've got peanut butter cookies from Megan's Kitchen.
Well, Ben, you can always settle on this. See if you can't talk to someone in Kansas City to get that recipe to you. We can make that Caesar dressing for you. And then as far as gelato goes, we're always experimenting and making things in our ice cream maker at home.
Okay, I just got a text from mine and Arnie's brother, who is watching the stream. He doesn't participate in the chat. He just likes to watch. For Ron, this is for you. Arnie's in Southern California. I'm in Northern California at home. We went to Disneyland this past weekend, and Arnie and Doug are still down in Southern California. So there you go. We are just about out of time here. So
that was a quick hour.
Yeah, it was. Does anyone have any final thoughts on the weekend and what you did and what you took away from it?
You know, I think whenever you have such a big group come together, you always wish you could spend more time with them. Definitely with you guys. You know, we met up with you in Sherlock before, and we always enjoy hanging out with you. And it's always a sign of true friendship when someone can hit you and you actually enjoy it. So,
I'm crying. I'm crying.
Back to you, Ben. And I did
Ben,
instigate.
remember, Derek is right there next to you. You could hit him virtually.
Did I go the wrong way? I just went into it, didn't I?
There you go.
But it was awesome meeting you guys. It was awesome meeting everyone there. We had an awesome weekend. It seemed like it didn't last just 3 days. It seemed like it lasted longer, but the time went by quick, if that makes sense. It just seemed like we did so much, and there was so much to do, so much fun that we had, so many memories. And this is one Disney trip that I think will be very hard for it to surpass with everything that we were able to do. A lot of firsts, and a lot of hanging out with some great friends.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll get together again, I'm sure, sometime.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we got to get together soon. As a matter of fact, guys, come on over and you can stream with us as we decorate a tree. Maybe you can be part of a tree decorating party.
Do we have to dress up as elves?
No,
No,
you don't.
be as comfortable as possible because it'll probably be like 90 degrees when we're starting to set up trees.
So great.
Yeah, see, like Kittle said, we took away so many of the ornaments there from Disneyland. So yeah, there are new ornaments for the trees.
Awesome. That would be fun. And we all have the Flex Pass now, so we can run for a day trip to Disneyland.
We could.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, definitely.
That sounds great.
Yeah, and Megan says, I was brought presents to appease me, so that's what I took away from the weekend. I did. I got her a couple of Starbucks Christmas ornaments, one from Disneyland and one from California Adventure.
Awesome.
So
she loves the ornaments. So
yeah,
do I.
She does love her ornaments. All right. Well, with that being said, thanks so much for joining us this week, guys. We thank you for finding us on our new time. Pending circumstances, we may or may not premiere an episode of Life with Ben this week, but we will see. We'll keep you posted on that. Things might happen, things might change, but we'll keep you in the loop on that. But for now, thank you so much for joining us on our new time slot here on Monday nights following Mickey's Magic. We hope you have a wonderful evening, and we hope you'll have a wonderful, great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.